Howdy, Red Faction. We're live over on the Purple Faction right now. Probably when you guys see this video, I will not be live. We'll be playing Marvel's Rivals just here shortly. But I do want to get into this developer update that just dropped for Destiny. Because Destiny kind of has... This season is kind of that season where people are kind of like, yeah, I'll do the stuff I do, and then I'll just go play other games. And I've been grinding Destiny since the Final Shape drop. So yeah, I've been putting hours upon hours into it. Did all the stuff, almost all the stuff. I kind of took a little bit of a break from doing like kind of the more content to just play PvP, to play Gambit, all that other stuff. But end of the year update. Let's get into it. We have Robbie Stevens. My name is Robbie Stevens, and I'm the assistant game director for Destiny 2. Over the past few months, we've been sharing details about the future of Destiny 2 in developer deep dives. Link to the developer deep dive page and live streams. The Destiny 2 team is hard at work paving the way for Codename Frontiers. The new destination in Codename Apollo is content complete, which means we focus on polishing on the non-linear campaign, Metro Divana. Okay then, ignore that in the background. Gameplay experiencing. Developing the finer details of the world and fleshing out the numerous quests you'll discover during the journey through New Frontiers. The core game portal activities, modifiers, and next generation gear that will be Destiny's new backbone are coming online. We're playtesting every week and have planned multiple summits in the coming months with members of the Destiny community to provide invaluable feedback and to help us hone our executions. Additionally, we're hiring a handful of gameplay specialist positions. Our specialists, sourced from the community, will be in the trenches with the dev team playtesting the new core game progression and gameplay systems, as well as Codename Apollo's campaign and post-game. These specialists provide us with the kind of perspective that you can only get from dedicated players. We'll be going dark on Codename Frontiers communications for a little while. The team needs time to playtest, collect feedback, and cook before we emerge with more details. So, with this just right here, I want to say, most of it is going to be the content creators, the lore guys, the PvE guys, the PvP people, no Gambit people. I say that as a joke. There might be some. To do all this. And yes, I think it's good. The issue that we're going to see here is, I think now in terms of like the actual content creators that are still around and still play Destiny a lot, hopefully this doesn't make any of them kind of do like rage bait content, because that happens a lot with Destiny. It's not the entire community and it's not going to be all the content creators, but there's probably going to be like those very few that do it. And then when this comes out, it's like a whole big thing. I hope that that isn't what happens. So yeah. But now, into this. Destiny has a long history of reinventing itself in response to community feedback and the expectations of players. Our North Star, however, remains unchanged. We strive to build worlds that inspire friendship and to create amazing gaming experiences that leave an indelible mark on people's lives. We started breaking bones and trying new things with episodes. Some of these changes have been well received by the community, like the Vespers Host dungeon raids. The team found the right mix of challenge and length to alleviate the dungeon to the bar set by contest raids. I can't wait to watch the next race when Heresy launches in February. We're getting another dungeon, or we're getting another raid in Heresy. Huh. Heresy is probably going to be focused on Hive, so there's that. And in February, we're getting something new. So, Heresy is going to be launching in February. That means we have 2 more months of this. That means at the end of this month, in January, the new year, we have a new act. Right? Yeah, okay. Other changes have had a rocky start. Weapon crafting removed the joy of earning a random weapon, that feeling that any drop can matter, So we introduced enhanceable weapons. Enhanceable weapons are nice, but I think they should have stuck to like things like Grid Skipper, Sojourner's Tale, all that being the enhanceable weapons, and then kept the crafted weapons, like, getting the insurmountable or all that stuff. I think that would have been a better pick. Kind of what they did like last season. Because I think like if you are trying to chase like a roll for a gun, like let's say you want the insurmountable. I've seen a bunch of people talk about insurmountable. Okay, cool, fine, perfect. Thank you for talking about it. But don't make sidearms become a thing that they nerf. The Revenant tonics were meant to provide loot agency in lieu of crafting and give you a fresh way to chase gear. But we know we missed the mark with the tonic timers and not guaranteeing a weapon from the active tonic. So we're in the process of developing changes to make tonics last longer and give better payouts, on top of a series of bug fixes planned for December 17th. Stay tuned for patch notes. So, next week. Also, we see how these changes are putting pressure on your vault. So we're in the early stages of planning a long-term change to relieve vault pressure that will start to manifest later in the year of Codename Frontiers. You're going to give us like a second vault? It's like Vault 1, Vault 2, both of the same amount. In response to the desirability of seasonal weapons, in the short term of Heresy, we developed a new tier of seasonal weapon dubbed the Heretic Arsenal. More details on these weapons as we approach, but rest assured that it will be clear when they hit your inventory and they're worth expecting. These changes are stepping stones to help us evaluate our long-term plans to create a deeper weapon chase in Codename Frontiers. Episodes introduce a new content cadence with acts. While there are new activities, loot, and quests rolling out on a consistent cadence, this change created lulls in our gameplay calendar at the end of an episode. So for the final weeks of Revenant, there will be a special pursuit similar to Revan's Wishes, where you complete quests to choose from a list of new and desirable rewards. So, are you saying that it's going to be like how with Revan's Wishes, how you could get like raid weapons? Are you going to do that here? Like, is this going to be like a way for you to give us garden weapons? Because wasn't it during season of the Wish when that's when you introduced having uh the fucking the Last Wish raid be your new thing? So now so with this being the case, is this going to be Garden of Salvation of new and desirable rewards? So there's going to be some new ones, but is that new going to be like the new you can craft weapons from Garden of Salvation? Because I mean, Zealous Reward, Sacred Province, Prophet of Doom. Those are weapons that you can now craft. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to do something different? Because at the same time, there's another dungeon that you haven't done anything with. Pit of Sorrow. Additionally, we'll be evaluating feedback from Ribbon's content rollout, and we made changes to Heresy to strike a better balance between everything dropping on day one on the act versus meaningful less reasons to return throughout the episode. We're taking an approach where the vast majority of the activity's content will be available on the first day of an act, and subsequent weeks will add or evolve the content based on the story. Also, we're adjusting the act rollout schedule so that there's less downtime and gameplay calendar later in the episode. Heresy will be our last season in the episode format. The team has taken some big swings to create new activities that evolve throughout the episode and create big secrets to uncover on the Dreadnought. So we're going back to the Dreadnought. Widening the focus. As Revenant approaches its final act, where you delve into Dracula's castle-inspired fortress, so you just basically leak that for the last act, we're really going to be like going into Fickrell's like main spot. I wanted to take a moment to reflect on some of the feedback we received around Echoes and Revenant's story, as well as the hunger for purpose and meaning in a post-Witness world. Our first two episodes had a tight focus, establishing Maya Sundrast and her Echo of Command as a force to be reckoned with. Fickrell re-emerged with power to create an undead army for one last showdown with the Guardian and his dad. We set out to deliver a narrative promises set up in the Light and Dark saga, so that we couldn't tie off in the final shape. The Kells, the Hive siblings, showcasing the effect of killing the Witness had on the world, and more. By prioritizing satisfying conclusions, we want a clear path for bold and new storylines in the saga to come. In Heresy, we're widely focused on the story of the Hive Pantheon and the ancient Eldritch forces that shape the universe. The events of Heresy close the door on the Light and Darkness saga and act as a prologue to codename Apollo, where Guardian's purpose in the next saga starts to take focus. On a personal note, this past November marked my 9th year at Bungie. I've seen Bungie and Destiny go through many changes over the last decade. What remains constant is the player community and the Destiny team's commitment and dedication to this one-of-a-kind space opera, and our drive to take Destiny to places we could only imagine a decade ago. It's appropriate that during Destiny's 10th anniversary, we reshape the game so that we can continue to the enduring legacy of this universe that millions of people call home. We're eternally grateful to you, our Guardians, for your passion and dedication to Destiny that enables us to chart a course to new frontiers. Okay. So we're going to have to deal with the Hive siblings and the forces that might be behind the worms. Okay. Is there going to be like some like is the last technically alive Hive sibling Xivu Arath going to like merge with a worm and become a giant Cthulhu-esque creature? Like, is that going to be like the raid? Because here's the thing: when we talk about how the Hive siblings, Oryx, Savathun, and Xivu Arath have been dealt with, Crota, we had a whole last raid where we basically sent him to apparently in what's that Sorrows of the Deep dungeon. We sent him basically to the bottom of Titan, where he just kind of like sat there and was attempted to be brought back as a Hive Guardian. Savathun, we had a whole legendary campaign where we quote unquote killed her, but she's technically a Hive Guardian, so now we have her ghost that we could like deal with at any time. And Saint is kind of just running her pockets. So, and the Kells is this season. So Echoes, we dealt with, Maya Sundrast and the Vex. This season we're dealing with Fickrell and the Scorn, and dealing with our good friend Mithrax. Kind of showing a little bit of Nezarec's influence. And then Heresy, we're going to have to deal with hopefully Xivu and this Eldritch force. Because, the Hive Pantheon is the Hive siblings, basically. And the worms. Fucking worms. and the ancient eldritch forces that shape the universe. Are we gonna get a hint at the winner? Who knows? Now, here's what I'm gonna say. And I like the fact that Marvel's Rivals came out now. I'm gonna say that it's nice that I can get a little bit of a break here and there to do this, so I'm not constantly grinding it. Because at some point, things can feel monotonous. Um, am I excited for all this? I am. Do I hope that these gameplay specialist positions don't kind of go for content that makes them feel better, but realizes that this can make a whole bunch of people feel better? Because the one thing I want the most about this is I want the core game to feel great. I want the core end game to feel great. But I also want activities that are basically kind of sitting in the background. They kind of just sit there and people only play it like if a meta weapon comes around, or if there's like a seasonal challenge. I want those modes to feel good and special. I also don't want to have to feel that every time I start a new episode or a new, season, that I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just finally got, my characters up to the highest light level. Let's do that again. Vesper's Host Dungeon, still have to do it. I haven't been like heavily invested in PvE when it comes to Destiny. I kind of just play whatever the hell I want. I mean, I do have to do them at some point, but it's like, do I want to do that, or do I want to play Marvel's Rivals? I think I'll do that. I do think the tonics were a good thing. But what I don't like about them is when you try to switch to a different build, and you can't do it because. Also, let me just say this, real quickly, to all the mother truckers, who were, oh yeah, Wrathweavers aren't good, they're not doing enough, so Bungie's like, okay, we buffed them. Oh, now they're doing too much damage and we can just melt bosses. And then Bungie disabled them? You disabled something that is one of the builds that I love. You guys did the same thing with Necrotic Grips with Strand. Knock it off. I swear, if I say, I could say I love this one thing, and it's so good, and everyone could hate it. Bungie buffs it, and then they're like, oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever. And then I'm just sitting there going, good, it's finally nerfed. Maybe I should play Hunters more. Maybe then, maybe then people will actually, whatever. Sorry, dumb joke. I know. Hate me if you want. The tonics that give you rewards, though, yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why that bug is there. The Heretical Arsenal. Are these going to be like another round of like Hive-esque weapons? And if so, can we like maybe make them not look like they have fungus growing off of them? And that's weird. That's a weird thing that I'll say. When we look at the scoring, yeah, they have all the weird, like, rusted, almost like bandit, like outlaw-esque, like, look, like scavengers. But what's with all the Aragorn everywhere? What's with all that fungus? So, and I hope with this, it's an arsenal. So I hope it's not just a couple weapons. You know, I hope like we get like a scout rifle, a pulse rifle, an auto rifle, a sniper rifle, a shotgun, a fusion rifle, a grenade launcher, LMG. Like make it an actual arsenal. Don't make it like this. We kind of added this. No, like the heretical arsenal should be something else you get that is like an actual arsenal. Like, you know, what we had during Season of the Forge, where there was a variety of different weapons, not just some of the same. And don't be like, well, this is a stasis auto rifle. Well, this is an arc one. Don't do that. Have it be one type of each weapon that has, like, this kind of, like, you know, this quote unquote thing here. A deeper weapon chase is basically having not just the repeats of the same, like, class of weapon, and then you break it up into, like, a subclass. Like, this is a precision frame, this is an adaptive frame, this is a high impact frame. In the heretical arsenal, can you bring, for this as well, can you bring back some of this Season of the Forge weapons? Because you brought back one. Okay, that's there. That exists. You can still go do that. But we need the sniper rifle back. You can bring back, heck, please just bring back some of the weapons that were like, you know, the random drops that you got, along with some of the more focused ones. Heck, ringing nail, bring it back. Your blast furnace is already here. There you go. If there's a hand cannon, bring that back. That's all I'm saying. But again, with that being said, I'm gonna get into Marvel's Rivals. So, yeah, Red Faction. I'll see y'all later.